Morocco wasn't supposed to do this. Not yet, anyway. This past weekend, Morocco lined up against Brazil, five-time world champions, one of the most storied programs in the sport, and walked away with a draw most people didn't see coming. Before kickoff, the math wasn't close. Statistical models gave Brazil a 57.7% chance of winning, with Morocco sitting at just 18.8%. In theory, this was a formality, a box for Brazil to check on their way to bigger things. In practice, not even close. So today we're breaking down what actually happened, why it matters way more than just a draw, and why one 18-year-old kid just became the most talked about name in this entire World Cup. Stick around, it gets better. Let's start with the basics. Brazil and Morocco played to a 1-1 draw in Group C of the 2026 World Cup. On paper, a draw sounds boring. Two teams, 1 point each, nobody really wins. But context is everything in football, and the context here is wild. Here's the thing about Brazil. They're not just a good team, they're the team. 5 World Cups. A roster full of players that cost more than some small country's GDP. When Brazil walks into a stadium, the assumption is simple. They're going to dominate, and everyone else is playing for survival. Morocco had other plans. According to French media coverage, Morocco came out and took Brazil by the throat from the very first whistle. This wasn't a team sitting back, hoping to survive. This was a team pressing, attacking, and genuinely suffocating Brazil's rhythm. Reports describe Brazil as suffocated by Morocco's press, with the Brazilians largely dominated at the start of the match. You know the type, the underdog that's supposed to play it safe, sit back, maybe nick a goal on a set piece if they're lucky. Morocco said no thanks, we're doing this our way. And it worked. Morocco took the lead through a clean counter-attack. Brazil needed a moment of individual brilliance from one of the best players on the planet just to drag themselves back to level. The game ended 1-1, but the story wasn't really about the scoreline, it was about how Morocco got there. This sounds simple, it isn't. Because here's where it gets interesting. The headline of this match wasn't even the result. It was one player. Meet Ayyoub Bouaddi, 18 years old. This was his World Cup debut, his literal first game on this stage against 5-time champions, in front of a packed stadium and a global audience. And he didn't just survive it, he ran the midfield. Bouaddi finished the match with 91% pass accuracy, completed all 16 of his final third passes, made 6 ball recoveries, recorded 5 interceptions and won 9 duels. For context, those numbers wouldn't just be good for a teenager, they'd be a strong game for a seasoned veteran in his prime. Here's the part that makes it even wilder. Bouaddi led Morocco in most touches, most accurate passes, and most ball carries, while also ranking second for ground duels won and successful dribbles. Against Brazil's midfield. In his first game, pattern interruption, quick plot twist. This kid almost wasn't playing for Morocco at all. Bouaddi actually represented France at the youth international level before switching his international allegiance to Morocco just last month. So technically he's been a Morocco player for a matter of weeks, and his introduction to the country's senior team was this: a statement performance against one of the most feared midfields in the tournament. You can probably guess what happened after the final whistle. Every major club with a scouting department suddenly remembered his name. Arsenal had already been tracking him, and reports suggest Mikel Arteta has identified him as a priority target. When asked directly about a potential move to the Premier League, Bouaddi kept it diplomatic, saying he's focused on the World Cup but is happy clubs are interested. Translation, he knows exactly what just happened. He's just not getting distracted by it. Yet. Now here's why none of this should actually surprise you. And this is the part a lot of casual fans miss. Morocco isn't some plucky newcomer that got lucky for 90 minutes. At the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, Morocco became the first African nation in history to reach the semi-finals. Think about that. In the entire history of this tournament, decades of football, hundreds of teams, no African nation had ever gotten that far. Morocco did it first. And it gets better. On their way to that semi-final run, Morocco beat Belgium, Spain and Portugal, 3 major European footballing nations, beaten by Morocco in the same tournament. So when people act shocked that Morocco held Brazil to a draw, the real question is, why are you shocked? This is a team that's been knocking on the door of football's elite tier for years now. They'd even beaten Brazil in a friendly match just a year prior, becoming the first Arab team ever to do so. Here's where it gets interesting again, though, because not everyone inside the Morocco camp is getting carried away. Veteran winger Sofiane Boufal has actually pushed back on the World Cup hype, arguing that Morocco's real priority should be winning the Africa Cup of Nations before anyone starts dreaming about lifting the World Cup itself. And honestly, that's kind of refreshing. While the rest of the football world is losing its mind over one draw, the players themselves are saying, slow down, let's take this step by step. So what does all of this actually mean going forward? Morocco now sits with 1 point from their opener, same as Brazil. Their next match is against Scotland, followed by a group stage finale against Haiti. 2 more chances for Bouaddi to either confirm this was the real deal, or for Brazil's experience to start grinding teams like Morocco down over a longer tournament. But here's the thing this match already proved, regardless of what happens next. The gap between football's traditional powers and everyone else is shrinking fast. A team that wasn't supposed to host this World Cup, ranked outside the favourites, with an 18-year-old who switched countries a month ago, just took the world champions to the wire and made it look easy at times. Brazil walked in as the story everyone expected to write itself. Morocco didn't read the script, and if Bouaddi keeps playing like this, he might end up rewriting a few more pages before this tournament's done. If you want more breakdowns like this as the tournament unfolds, the upsets, the breakout stars, the moments everyone's going to be talking about, make sure you're subscribed, because this World Cup is just getting started, and it's already throwing out surprises nobody saw coming.